must create a tight weave. We must create cohesion. We must create a very powerful field of consciousness, which is then expressed in action, whether it is a march or any other thing that we do, that stands for an alternative. And I don't think that we even have to think of that alternative as oppositional. I actually think if that alternative had been presented to the American people in the way it might have been, the American people would have voted for that alternative. So I'm here this weekend because the march is what presented itself. And I think many things will present itself. You know, there's a gospel song when I ran a spiritual center in Detroit. And every week we open with a song, an old gospel tune, "We Are Marching." And it's a spiritual concept, marching on. And sometimes it's physical marching. Sometimes you march because you read the newspaper today. Sometimes you march because you saw a news clip and you called your congressman or you called your senator. Sometimes you march in whatever way we are each in our own hearts and minds guided what we might do on any given day. Not to oppose, but to create an alternative. Yes, to resist. But to resist the way the abolitionists resisted. To resist the way the women's suffragettes resisted. To resist the way the civil rights movement resisted. All of which came from a spiritual basis, because a spiritual basis, whether it came from the Quakers as in abolition, or it came from the Southern Christian Leadership Conference as in the civil rights movement, what the spiritual perspective gives us in terms of marching is that if you actually believe that something is wrong, that's where too many people on the left have made a mistake because we think we're too cool to use the word like morality. We are too cool to use words like evil. We are too cool to use words like right and wrong. And when you have a spiritual basis, you're not afraid to say, I will not have this on my watch because this is wrong. This is wrong. Between being anti-slavery and being an abolitionist. Being anti-slavery means, oh, that's just terrible. That's just terrible. Those southern states are like crazy, those people. That's what it is to be anti-slavery. What it was to be abolitionist was, not only do I think it's wrong, not only will I call other people crazy for believing in it, but I will do all I can that in my presence, in whatever way I can, with every fiber of my being, with every bit of breath that I have, I will do what I can to transform that condition. And because the people, being Quaker, being Christian, being all the great social justice movements of all the great religious systems, what the spiritual edge gives you, and what being in this church reminds us, is not only do you take a stand to resist that which is wrong, but you know you can invoke that which is right. And that is and it's not just women marching, it's all of us who in our moment, in our own ways are waking up. Know that there's a distant star out there. And that distant star is justice, not injustice. And that distant star is unity and brotherhood, not disunity and walls that divide us. And we're heading for that star. And we're walking to that place. And when you're walking to that place, you have a light in your eyes. And other people have that light in their eyes, go, I want to walk where they're walking. And people who don't have their light in their eyes, if they feel loved by you, will be interested in that light, and they will want to walk with you too. Not just the people who agree with us, ladies and gentlemen. This can't just be for the people who agree with us. This has to be also for the people who might not agree with us tonight, but if we do our work, and we present the opposition in a way that is an alternative, and a resistance out of love and out of decency, rather than opposition, they will march with us too, and we will get our